All right. So, I'd like to thank all of y'all for showing up. I appreciate it. And just the reason why I kind of brought you guys together was because I'm sure we all see what's going on in the world and in the news today. And I thought it would be a good idea for me to invite different Black men that I know from like basically different sides and different views of life and kind of come together and have a discussion on what's going on in our society.
I can't believe we made it here. We made it here to episode 50. And I'll be honest with you, there were some days I didn't think we were going to make it, but we wound up making it. And for that, I want to thank and commend everybody who's been on this podcast. I definitely appreciate y'all. And without y'all, this wouldn't happen. From day one, I've always tried my hardest to get various different Black people with different ideologies, belief systems, and backgrounds to come together and have conversations. Me personally, I never liked echo chambers. But I'm not gonna lie to you, doesn't mean I knew what this was gonna be though. So I want to take the time to thank everyone for checking out this podcast on this special day, because today we have finally finalized the rebranding of this podcast series that I've been trying to decide what it's going to be for the longest. And now that you're here, and I hope y'all all ready for it, the brand new name, the debut. The new name of this series is called Fit the Description. I was hoping for like a hand clap from somebody. Celebration.
Yeah, no hand clap here. Sorry about it. Yay! There we go.
Now, the one thing I told everybody when coming on to this podcast, and this has always been the standard, I didn't necessarily bring us all together to get along and sing Kumbaya. The only thing I did was to bring us all together to have conversations. It's that simple. And also, to y'all, I also made some promises, particularly two. The first thing, with a few exceptions, but for the most part, if you want to be a part of this community, you're always welcome to. But the second promise was this: you're not always going to like what we say, and we're always going to be unapologetically ourselves. I got to remember to do this before every recording, because I forget to do this, but I'm going to do this now. So here we are. Here's a new opening. Welcome to Fit the Description, where various Black men come together and talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about. And I'm not going to waste your time. Let's get right into the podcast. This was a special episode for me, and since it is, I decided to do something special and bring everybody back who's been on the podcast since episode 1.
What up, world? It's your boy J-Star. Just want to say I'm sorry I couldn't make it to this huge episode, man, but my boy made it to episode 50, y'all. Woo! What a huge accomplishment, bro. Keep going on strong. Make sure y'all listen in to the Fit the Description podcast. It's your boy J-Star, and I'm out.
And even though I wasn't able to get everyone to come back, we still had one of the biggest turnouts that we ever had on this podcast. Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, where various Black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, news, culture, and whatever else we want to talk about. I'm your host, G. We are now on Spotify, so definitely check that out. You know, audio only if you want to hear it. Now, it is delayed, but, you know, once we got everything together, we're going to catch things up. Outside of circumstance, I doubt we'll do something like this again, unless there is one way. I spent 2, technically now 3 years, trying to build this channel. Now I'm going to spend the next couple of years to try to build this community and this brand. The next time we do something special like this, it won't necessarily be episode 100. It's going to be when we get our first plaque. That is my number one goal, or award, or whatever it is. I don't care where it's from. I don't care if it's from a podcast platform, YouTube, even Rumble, as long as we get it. And so for that, I need your help. It's real simple. Whatever platform you're on, make sure to like, subscribe, join, whatever it is. Just click that and help us build this community. Welcome back to a new episode of Fit the Description, where various Black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from Black men's perspective. This was just a little special intro to introduce this podcast. 50 is an important milestone for me. I'm glad we made it. It was great showing y'all the growth and the evolution of this podcast. Well, at least when it came to the intro. And now you know our goals for the future. Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, where various Black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various Black men's perspective. You know what? I'm not even going to waste no more of your time. We're going to go ahead and just jump into it. Here we are, episode 50. Three, two, one. So, I want to welcome you, actually invite you, not only back to the podcast, but welcome you to the 50th episode of Fit the Description, which, I'll be honest, in my opinion, I am surprised that we made it this far, because I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised that we made it to 50 episodes, but we actually did. So today I decided to do something special, and basically everybody who's ever been on the podcast is going to be here tonight. And people are going to come in at different times. Some people are going to stay the whole entire time. Some people are going to stay a very short amount of time. So we're going to run this a little bit differently. I'm going to try to keep this more concise so everybody gets a chance to talk. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for being here. Again, there's a lot of people going to be here, so I'm just going to let y'all know. If you want to know who's all going to be here, the links will be down below in the description. And before we start, like usual, I got to tell y'all where to go. If you guys want to check us out, again, right here, OPN is where you can find us. Also, check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description Podcast on YouTube. We're also now on Rumble. We're on various different multiple podcast platforms. And also, I'm also on the Wisdom app, so if you want to hear me do a live stream and you want to just hear me, just talk and tell you my thoughts, check me out on the Wisdom app. And sometimes I also ask different people questions, so check that out. And we also got an Instagram, which we haven't uploaded anything on there, but we do have an Instagram. You can check that out too, Opinion Peace Network. And what else do we have? We have a lot of social media. Either way, it's going to be all down below. But for me, like I said, this is an exciting time because, again, I didn't know if we were going to make it to 50 episodes, but it seems like, and honestly, I want to thank everybody who's been on the podcast, everybody who's here tonight, because this wouldn't have happened without y'all. So I wanted to do something special, and I said, just to celebrate it, I called everybody who I could, and everybody basically said that they could come on, although I will say the only two people I haven't heard back from yet is Ella Coolpats. I don't know if he's going to be here. And I also want to give a shout out to Dan. Dan couldn't make it. I actually heard from his wife. I guess he's having a medical condition he's dealing with right now. So I want to say big ups to him, man. I hope you feel better. Sorry you couldn't make it, but he did say that if he can, he'll try to be on a future episode. So, and I'm sure y'all don't know who Dan is. Dan was one of the people who was basically on the first episode when all this started. So if you want to know who that is, check out the very first episode that we did. But I definitely want to shout out to him and, thank you for trying, man. I understand, we can't do nothing about medical situations pop up. You got to take care of yourself. So again, I want to give a shout out to Dan. Hopefully you feel better. And yeah, hopefully you could come on to the next episode. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little nervous, man. This is crazy. I mean, I think this may be the biggest pound that we have ever done. But, I'm glad. I'm happy for it. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming on. And again, I want to thank y'all for being here and help. And basically, because y'all come on and enjoy doing these talks, you allowed us to get to these 50 episodes. So that's something. So I got to commend y'all. With that being said, we're going to get started. We're going to go ahead with the first topic. And so the way we're going to do it, I'm just going to explain how this is going to go. So we're all on the same page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the topic. And then I'm going to kind of explain. I'm going to do it I'm going to explain real quick. And then I'm going to give everybody 2 minutes uninterrupted to say their piece. And then we're going to open up the floor to discussion. So because some people are going to come in late, when they come in, I may stop y'all if you all are debating, or may let you finish your point. Then I'm going to stop y'all, let them know what's going on. They'll say their piece. Then we'll keep it going. So again, I'm going to go ahead and your opening statements. Everybody has 2 minutes to say whatever they want to feel on the topic. Just to start off, I'll go ahead and go first and use my 2 minutes, but let me go ahead and open it up. So, as of right now, I'm not sure if y'all, I know a lot of y'all are living your lives, but there's a big debate happening, particularly online right now, about men and women just the dating standards and just how each of the sexes, see things from their own perspective on how dating is today. Whether it's a simple men's or women's issues, whether women are saying there's not enough good men anymore, or sometimes men saying like women ain't measuring up, or even going deeper into like where they're saying like black men are leaving the culture, or black women being hard to deal with. Whatever the case, this is just the opening. Whatever the case, however you feel. At the end of the day, to me, how I feel, I think both parties kind of recognize that there's issues on both ends. So luckily tonight, we have a variety of different black men. Since this is a black men's podcast, so this comes from various black men's perspectives. We have various different black men to give you their viewpoint. We got black men on here who are married, single, dating, interracial relationships, whatever. I think the only thing we're missing on here is divorcee. I wish we had somebody who was divorced. But I guess the big question I want to ask everybody, and I'm going to give everybody, 2 minutes on how do you feel about the dating market today? Do you feel like it's in a good place? Do you feel like it's in a bad place? It's okay, day outside the culture, whatever. However you feel, y'all are going to get 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'll go ahead and use my 2 minutes right now. I'm also going to put on a timer. Let me get the timer out. It shows you how prepared I am. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give myself 2 minutes. And here we go. So, because I've actually had this conversation multiple times on this podcast, I thought I'd go ahead and just because I think the one thing I have never did was actually put out my viewpoint on this situation, because we talked about this multiple times. But here's what it is. Men need to understand the basic standards and what they're willing to accept. Men also need to do a better job of putting their foot down and holding a standard for themselves. And you also need to put yourself in a position where you can walk away from a situation. At the same time, women need to do a better job at understanding men and accepting men for what they are, because women have the luxury of not having to understand men, and they should do a better job of listening to men and understanding what they want and what their needs are. And right here, this is the most important point, because this is one of my core values. As a woman, you're free to do whatever you want. If you want to go ahead and date 5 guys at the same time, hey, that's cool. If you want to sleep with 100 dudes, hey, that's on you. If you want to be in a monogamous relationship, more power to you. Hey, you're free to make any decision that you want. But with those decisions come consequences, and you need to be able to accept the consequences of those decisions. So if you're going to make decisions that are unappealing to majority of men, you cannot be mad when you don't wind up in a good situation in a relationship. Now, I think if women do a better job at accepting that and stop blaming men for things not working out, I think we'll be in a better place. Now, understand I talk from a generalized perspective. I can't be specific because each man, even the ones here, all have different needs. So it's impossible to be specific. But anyways, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor. That's my 2 minutes. Does anybody want to volunteer to go first?
I'll go.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, so you said dating, right?
Yes.
Dangerous in today's world, because you as a man could be hooking up with Lisa, and then she could be sucking off Tom, and Tom could be eating Greg. So that's just first and foremost on that. 2, it's like standards. I mean, I'm a strong believer of, if you don't bring to the table, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. So men having high standards, because I know a lot of things that don't bring nothing to the table, but sit here and talk about, oh, I want a baddie at the end of the day. You is basically this, hands down. And women got 6 kids, and like, it's still sitting in the passenger side of his best friend ride. But you got 6 kids and no baby daddy. You have no right to talk. So dating in this day and age is very dangerous. Detrimental to people's health. Because I'm the type, like, I need an application, a dating application. And if you can't fill that out in front of me, then we have nothing to talk about. First question. How many men have you been with? That's his first question. And then so on and so on. But I'll get into that a little later on. But dangerous. That'd be my opening statement to that. I'm done.
Okay. Does anybody want to volunteer to go next?
Sure. Now my voice is out and I'm on a podcast. Has this ever happened? Sheesh. So I hope everybody can hear me and make out what I'm saying. But yeah. This topic in general, like what was already said and stated, it's a mixture. Like it's too all over the place. We got identity crises going on. You got people wanting to be other types of people, which is at the end of the day, that's their own decision. But when it comes to a relationship, we have to consider what that's about. And dating, that's a part of it. Like people confuse certain stuff of like dating, you're not necessarily boyfriend, girlfriend. That's the first mess up right there. You're not necessarily married either. So you gotta act accordingly to what's going on at the time. So some people get too attached, one. Two, and this happens on both sides. So in my opinion, it's just a mixed bag all over the place. And I'm gonna leave it there.
All right, shout out to y'all. Y'all ain't even getting close to your time. Anybody want to go? Anyone else want to volunteer to go next?
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
All right, it's Mr. K. Dudley. Oh man, this is what a main subject I talk about quite often, but I'm gonna try to keep it short. I'm a little stressed for time. It's kind of like, they kind of touch base with a lot of stuff. It's dangerous, can be. People have to bring stuff to the table. One major thing that he just said, which is what I was going to touch bases on, which is that in our culture, since this is a Black man's podcast, we don't know what dating is. It's always, he's my boo, she's my boo, we together. No, we don't learn how to date, and that's our problem. We rush into these relationships. Sometimes for religious reasons, other times for maybe, mommy didn't hug me, daddy didn't hug me. We rush into these relationship situations and then we cry about them later because realizing that it's not what we want, it's not what we want to deal with, it's not who we want to deal with. And then we go through all this turmoil and stress on both ends and so forth. I always speak in general sense, minority. I don't like to say Black women or Black guys too much. I just say, minority, I say poverty areas. It's a little tougher because it's revolved around your financial income. Is not revolved around, do I like you, or do I want to be with you, or do I tolerate you? You got females that'll do the most for an apartment with no furniture, a blunt, and a short dog. That girl's all yours, because it's just like the standards are so low because everybody else is so low. So they don't look at it. Can I get along with this person without fornication? Is this my forever person? Is this somebody I'm going to spend my life with? Is this the right person to have kids with?
All right, time.
All right.
Sorry. First part to go over. All right, so anybody want to volunteer to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
This is Brandy Vernon here. I'm glad to be on the 50th podcast show. And I just want to, first, before I start, I just want to tell Dan, I pray that he has a healthy recovery with what is going on with them right now. But the dating market, it sucks. And it really just boils down to, just the lack of respect for each other, both sexes, you take a girl out on a date, you pay for both meals, and she can't even give you a simple thank you for the meal. You see, so I think dating, to me personally, is a waste of time. I don't date. Um, I say for every, since this is a man's podcast, I'll say for every man to work on themselves, learn how to love themselves, learn how to find out what do you like and what you don't like. And because when you find that out, you will want people who actually respect you for what you are and what you like, and not for who you are and what you don't like. Don't for and this goes to everybody. Don't tolerate the bull crap. And what we're dealing with today is bull crap. It's childish. So it's a sucky time. Identify the wrongs and stay away from it. That's all I can say. Stay away from it. Deal with something better. Go find it. It's out there.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Time.
All right, go ahead, you guys.
Okay. Who wants to volunteer to go next?
Jay Dude.
Oh, what's up, Jay?
What's up, man?
All right, man. I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead, man. Got 2 minutes.
I don't think I need 2 minutes. But plus at my age, dating is very dumb. I don't see nothing wrong with liking somebody and enjoying spending time with somebody, but I don't know what people are looking for when they date. But I think you should maybe not date to marry, but like when you dating somebody, messing with that person in a super comfortable way. I just think right now it's cool to mess around and do your little thing, but dating and like looking at them like serious dating, nah, that's dead. I don't need no more time.
What up? This LL Cool Pat.
Oh, what up, LL?
Be chilling. What's happening?
All right, man. Go ahead, man. You got 2 minutes.
Dating sucks. If there was some kind of way that you can telepathically just let the other person know what you want to do and just like go forth from there, that would be way better.
Lying on some grips.
I don't like the idea of trying to set up some type of event where you got to try and impress and all that kind of stuff and blah blah blah. I rather just, I don't know, I don't know. I just don't like all that extra stuff.
All right. Next person. Who'd like to go next?
Yo.
What's up, man? All right. You got 2 minutes, man.
All right, Rashawn, what's up? Jay Smooth from the J Squad. But yeah, I mean, I think I want to start my statement by saying, I think it really comes down to intention as well, right? Like, when you try to come to a relationship and, the guys only want to sleep with the women and the women only want financial gain, you can never really, truly have a meaningful relationship and fall in love. And then I think also both sides want traditional things when we're not living in the times of our parents, right? So wanting women to cook, clean, and manage the house, and then men, women want men, bring home the bacon and all of that. I just think it's a totally different time. And I also think the impact of social media as well is kind of messing things up, right? What we're seeing on the internet and our expectations of beauty and women seeing things from a different perspective from different men on the internet. And I think also women's financial expectations also highly skewed, wanting men that are, one of the 1 or 3%, and then not to mention the height and, all these weird requirements when that doesn't really give them a chance of receiving that. And then men also dating outside of their income bracket, right? Trying to get those baddies, and, when they ain't even, got it themselves to really even be having those type of dates. So I think those are my points.
All right, cool. All right. Okay, James, you're the last one, man.
I'm good.
So you're gonna pass?
I've already said enough about that on future podcasts and past priors and all that stuff. We're good.
All right, for sure. All right, with that being said, I want to open up the floor. Does anybody want to respond to anybody?
Who wants to smoke? I'm just playing.
Yeah. I was tripping off, and somebody said they didn't. Said they done with dating. Period. That was a trip.
Oh, whoa. Okay, can you say that louder?
I said I was tripping off of somebody saying that they were done with dating. Period.
Oh, I don't know who said that.
I don't know who said it, but that tripped me out, and I understand how he would feel like that with today's society, and he was right about the whole social media thing. Like with the social media, it puts these women in these high expectations because you're seeing everybody's highlight reel, and you don't really know a lot of these women don't know what providing is. And some of these guys too, and then they see these.
Wait a minute, can you expand on that point real quick? What do you mean by women don't know what providing is and these guys don't either?
All right, so far as like a lot of females will think providing is Gucci bags, flashy cars, big houses, lavish trips, getting my hair and nails done every week, But then the guy who is providing a household, food on the table, he's thrown under the bus. He's looked at as like, oh, that's all he doing is paying the rent. What do you mean all he doing is paying the rent? It's like there's tons of people, billions of people that can't even pay rent. So that's it's an accomplishment. Not to say they should lower their standards, but they need to understand what providing is.
Well, I mean, that is kind of them lowering their standards, isn't it not?
Not necessarily. Providing your entertainment and your all the other stuff that's all that stuff is extra. But providing for your well-being, taking care of you, you got food in your gut, just like when you take care of a kid. You have food in your belly, you have clothes on your back, you have room and board, and you got some females that'll be crying because they got a Ford Escort instead of a Mercedes, and it's just like they don't understand what providing really is.
Well,
that's all I really kind of touching bases with. I'm a little distracted, so I'm gonna go silent for a second.
Okay, yeah. Does anybody want to respond to that real quick? All right, cool.
I don't I don't want to debate that in any way. I just want to maybe expand upon it. Like,
yeah,
I think there's a difference between having like reasonable expectations and standards and then like delusions. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So I hear a lot, we just talk about in general internet, the mass consciousness of the expectation of men to make a certain amount of money or be a certain amount of way, and it comes from a large majority of females. It's like you can have high standards, but that don't mean that those standards will be met, right? If all the women want the same type of dude, and that dude is a part of the 1% to 3% of all humans, right? So then that constantly leaves you in, lonely. And then there's like the men who aren't really bringing much to the table or even providing, like my guy said before that. It's like, nah, providing is enabling you to live comfortably, right? Have roof over your head and not really wanting for anything, but it doesn't mean to be living a lavish lifestyle, because just that in general is not easily accessible. It's not the norm. And I think nowadays it's almost like, well, being making 100K, 200K, 300, like, bro, most people ain't making that. So if those are a part of your standards, it has to be, in my opinion, more realistic, obtainable standards. Because if all women want a man that makes $500,000 and all men want an Instagram model that's, you know, gonna come, then that's also Instagram model, that's also gonna come home, cook and clean and watch the kids. I think both sides are lopsided in their expectations for real.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I do agree with that. I think you got to be understand no matter what you're going to get, whoever you're dealing with, you're going to deal with certain standards. So I'll just speak on that from like my experience and from what I find. I'm just dealing with both sides. Is what I realized, like when you're dealing with like the top echelon of dudes, like that 1% whatever who got riches, what I find with those guys is that the biggest problem with them is one, they're used to a certain lifestyle, or and they have done so much to build themselves up that they don't have the tolerance to kind of deal with a lot of BS that pertains in a healthy relationship. And when you deal with like the hottest or the top of women that are the most beautiful, they tend to have such unreasonable expectations because they're kind of, I mean, I know some people, some women may not like it, but to me, it's true. They're a little spoiled because they're so used to getting everything and all this attention and just not having to work for it that they have such unreasonable expectation that it's almost not even worth dealing with because it's just so out there. So I do definitely agree. I think that is kind of the issue when you deal with certain people, certain levels of people. So I think in my personal opinion, like depending on who you deal with, I think you had to have reason understand like if you do want the top of guys or the top women, you need to have expectation on what you're going to get yourself into.
I mean, I disagree with a lot of that.
Go ahead.
So, I mean, I feel like men, you know, we live in an era of made men.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, there's not a lot of real men in this world today. Because coming from a person that, or not coming from a person, sorry, hearing that, you know, men need to have expectations and this and that, and when a woman should, oh, you know, he provides and this and that. I know a lot of women that, yes, are on Section 8, this and that, and get government assistance to fit with their life. But men, I know they pick men that are willing to be at home and live off of them and watch their kids and not do nothing. And then I can't get mad at women either because damn near since the beginning of time, it's like wars were waged over women, you know? So, and now you have, what is it? A financial structure, which is OnlyFans, let's just say, that give any woman, not just IG models, because I've shot with OnlyFans chicks and I've shot them and they weren't baddies, but they're making $10,000 a week. You know, everyday chicks that you be like, damn, I just seen her in Walmart, you know, with 3 kids, and you would never know. And, you know, being on the other end of the camera and on the shooting, seeing that it's not just baddies. Okay, baddies might be making $100,000 every week, but there's some chicks out here that are making $10,000, not doing nothing, absolutely nothing. And I feel like that's giving them the right to feel how they feel about some of these, like I said, bitch made ass men. Because men are so worried about, yes, I'm not saying that being a black man, it doesn't make me liable to easily to domestic violence or having the cops called on me or this or that. But if I've learned anything, it's you, just like whoever said in this, you pick the woman you want. You pick, like, I'm tired of niggas talking about crazy baby mamas. I'm tired of people talking about, oh, she's this, he's that. A lot of these same dudes are talking about, like, can't have an open and honest conversation from day one. And I've been that dude in my relationship since day one. I talk about the hard topics because if you can't talk about those hard topics early in a relationship, then what's the point of being in that you know, situation or relationship? I refuse to have a crazy baby mama because it's not just her that's crazy. That goes on both ends. And it's like I know too many women in Vegas that are regular women that have houses, that and that do different things on social media, and their kids don't know about it. Yes, am I saying that their kids won't eventually find out or this or that? But like I always say, we don't boast about Pam Anderson anymore. So eventually that shit'll get swept under the rug while she's a six-figure naked person 10 years from now. Yes, will she have to eventually deal with the backlash? Of course, but for how long? So I guess I'm just the type of person who I'm just not gonna knock women and make it out to be that they should be accepting of all men. Because like I said, I know a lot of, well, let me not say niggas because that's fucked up to say. I know a lot of men of all races that ain't shit. But that's what I'll say to that.
When he was going on to the OnlyFans thing, he was saying a lot, so I'm probably going to forget half the stuff I wanted to say.
Oh, real quick, I just want to say this real quick. Hey, remember, this is open floor, so if y'all want to jump in and say something or respond, just go right ahead, all right? Yeah, go ahead, Keith.
So he was saying, about females' respect levels so far is because they get on the OnlyFans, they can make 10 grand or whatever the case may be. And I feel like that's like one of the problems. I feel like we as men have put these women on such a high pedestal that of course it's just like a spoiled rich kid. You're not gonna appreciate certain things because things come to you so easily. That there's literally another site I just recently found out that because a friend of mine, she's on there where they sell feet pictures.
Yeah.
It's called something feet. I don't know, something feet. But the thing is, they have been put on this pedestal, and because they have been put on this pedestal, you're devaluing men who's making regular incomes. And it's like, or even sometimes even a little bit beyond regular income, but it's still not going to compare to you making 10 grand a week for showing your feet or shaking. It's just going to be no comparison. It's just not going to. It's not going to be. It's like it's our fault. We put these women on this pedestal. Now social media is out, so everybody's realized that guys are very easy. A girl could have no arms, no legs, but the dude will still be like, "Hey, but look at stuff." Like it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? If you lube up the sofa good enough, somebody's gonna it. So they know that, and they use that to get their financial gain, and then in return, they put down the guys who are actually out here putting in the work. See, the difference is we have to put in the work. They don't have to put in the work. They can go on social media, shake their ass a couple of times, make a OnlyFans, and be set for retirement by the time they're 35. Meanwhile, men gotta work.
To that point, it's like women have also had to see men make millions of dollars playing a 2-hour basketball game. And they've had to sit there and watch. So in rappers and entertainment in general, before OnlyFans, it's like, I get what you're saying about the everyday guy, but I'm just saying that, yes, I do agree with you. I'm not putting a woman on a pedestal. I'm saying that I can see why that somebody created a platform and for women to make millions of dollars. And to my point is that, like, yes, every man can't go on there and make millions of dollars, but that's not what it was made for. It's just like the NBA. Obviously, you got a W. It's not like dudes aren't on OnlyFans. I'll put it to you like that. It's just because they're not making as much. But what's the difference between the NBA?
not to cut you off, but OnlyFans wasn't originally for that. They turned it into what it is today.
No, okay, okay, but that's not the point that I'm trying to make. I'm saying, what's the difference between the sports, basically? Women's sports lack, men's sports strive. I'm saying that that's the point that I'm trying to make when it comes to, okay, everybody always tell women to do better in sports, and it's impossible. You can't do what decades of men have been doing better. It just can't happen. It can't happen. Like, it doesn't matter what women do in WNBA. They're not going to surpass the NBA. I don't care what they do. But like, that's what I'm saying about OnlyFans. It's like, yes, like I said, wars have been raged
That's
over
the
women
problem right
since,
there. I don't mean to cut you off. That's part of the
yeah.
problem right there. When it comes to relations, like you comparing the NBA and the WNBA, that's competition. When it comes to a relationship and being together,
No. Okay, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it. Okay, but that's like, we're not talking about a relationship. We're talking about dating. Her standards are at where she's at because she's making how much she's making, and just like whoever said, people get relationships mixed up with dating. If you're dating a chick and she has a good amount of money, but you're bringing a significant less to the table, then that's your problem.
I think that's cap. I think there's women that have absolutely nothing that have unreasonable expectations.
Oh no, that's a given. That's a given.
So you can't say the women that are on OnlyFans have expectations because they're making
no. Okay, no. I'm saying that I feel like that's where a lot of their mind states are. That they feel like, whether it be like not just OnlyFans, I'm talking about welfare or whatever the case may be. They know that they can get by easily. So it's like, yes, men have to step up their game. I feel like mentally, and it's like I feel like I feel like some of us were born in the era. Like, if you were born in like the 70s, 80s, you were born in the era of you can manipulate a woman. It doesn't matter how much you have. Now that's not me saying that you should do that, but it's just like being a man. If this woman feels like she can get over on you, or feel like, okay, you to say that, oh, well, I don't make enough and I don't do this and I don't do that, then it's like, or like I said, I'm not saying that a chick, however she makes, it defines me talking to her. It's like, if you have the confidence, I've seen niggas who ain't got nothing talk full bad bitches. And I'm just like, how the hell, but this person has the confidence of a fucking lion. Like, I could just sit here and finesse her to the point of no return, and that's when I put some responsibility on men today. Men today.
It's all about getting in the zone.
Yeah, it goes down to play the game or get played, and it's this big old game that everybody's playing. And I think that's like the big issue, that everybody's playing this game, like you said, manipulating a woman or figuring out a way to do this or lying about that or finessing your way into this, and it just becomes this game. And that's why, today we have marriages fail or people don't get married at all, because we've grown up in this culture of who got game.
I also kind of want to add kind of to the marriage thing a little bit, where I think today that a lot of women are not also being taught on, what it takes, or not having the proper expectation on how to be a wife. They're all about, being independent, bad bitches, making their money, which is fine. But I think that's also part of the problem too, where like, you're more focused on yourself, but you're not really taught how it takes what you need to actually build a sustainable relationship, or you're not going into it for the right reasons. At least that's what I believe.
Oh yeah, for sure. You see it all the time. They'll get somebody who ain't nothing versus somebody who will be a good fit for them and their children. But they want to go out here and, mess with the F boy as they called it. While every female, I don't care what they look like. I don't care if they ugly, fat, skinny. Every female got at least 2 or 3 dudes that's there for them. And out of those 2 or 3 dudes, at least 2 of them want to screw them or be with her. You know what I'm saying? But they choose to mess with the finessers. They choose to mess with the false promises instead of the men that's around them that's putting forth action to be there for them. Every female got a dude. They know who to call when they going through something. Whether they need to talk to somebody, they need some money, they need some weed. They got a guy for everything. You know what I mean? And it's just like they kind of put themselves in this whole bind with ain't no good men. You know, you got plenty of good men around you. You just choose not to. You choose not to entertain those good men until you get to a point to where you're tired, and then by that time it's too late.
Because most of the time they try to entertain their friends, they homegirls.
There you go. It's all about saving face. I think it's about saving face to us too when it comes to these females. I mean, let's keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Is a dime really that important if you can't show her off? Like, is she really is she really that important? Like, if I can't show her off, if I can't show her off to my niggas, and I can't walk around other females, because you know when you got a bad female, it makes you attractive to other females, and it makes men respect you more. But guess what? If you take it,
that is a lie. Hold
shit.
up, pause.
Shit.
I've
seen it.
Tell me that if
That's the game,
somebody
though.
out here got a baddie and they not even trying to be in that relationship like that, and they ain't gonna switch over for the homeboy, I done seen that happen too many times.
You said what?
So there's a guy, right? He picks up a baddie, whether you call it a dime piece, whatever, it doesn't matter. You show that off to your homies for whatever reason, and because it's messy already, this happens in relationships, dating, and all that stuff all the time, where somebody get their feelings hurt for whatever reason, and they run off to the homeboy to hurt the other person.
Very true.
Well, I mean, I think that's skipping a step, though. That's kind of skipping a step on what he's talking about. He's just talking about getting a baddie and then advertising her, just like I mean, I get both sides, but I'm just saying, that's my point. It's like it's a game, especially if you choose to date a chick of that caliber, or like a woman chooses to date an NBA player. It's like she's not, or I hate to say entertainer. It's like she's not with him just to be, oh, I'm good, I'm gonna stay at home, I don't need any of your money. It's like that's the game. So it's like that's everywhere. Social media, TV, that's what's influencing both sides. Both sides. It's not like, I'm not saying that women are right. I'm just saying that in this time period, this is my point. In this time period, women are being taught that they don't have to settle. And just like G said earlier, men are being taught to settle. That's what this time period is based off of. And I'm saying that, yes, if you choose to get this chick that is a 10 or a baddie, fuck that. It's chicks out here that are 3s and 4s that's feeling like they're 10s and baddies because of what today's society is teaching them. And it's fucked up. It's
and if
fucked
they can't
up.
do it, they'll just be lesbians.
Okay, but that's another thing. That's what I said earlier. Lisa can fuck with Tom. Tom can eat Greg's ass. And so on and so be it. I know so many women that are bisexuals, but it's just a default. Because if Tom ain't fucking with me, Lisa is. And if Lisa ain't fucking with me, Tom is. That's why I said dangerous, because motherfuckers got diseases. That's why I said that earlier.
That is true. You gotta pick I like how this pimp said it on one day on social media. He said you gotta pick the female that like you. All that, because if you pick the one that you just so head over heels for, you gonna let her run over you.
Exactly my point. A1 on that. A fucking one.
Word.
That's my point. Choose who you want to be with. If this bitch don't like, if you hit this bitch up and she taking 20 years to hit you back, 86 that bitch. Like, she's not worth it. It's like, if you gotta wait days for her to text back and, playing with you, that in this day and age, that shit'll get you killed. Like, you say that we're one thing, but now I gotta see, this is just my work husband or shit like that. Like, I've never been a big fan of none of that. And that's where dating, whoever said it earlier, gets so, miscued. It's like, if we go on a date, hey, I'm like, what's considered a date? Is it basically asking or suggesting? It's like, because there's a difference. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go get food. Do you want to come with me? That's a suggestion. To me, a date is, hey, I'm like 8 o'clock. I'm gonna come and pick you up. Let's go out on a date, or not a date. Let's go get some food and my treat. That's a date, and and honestly, I think it's all about how you word things in this day and age. Because I feel like too many things are a suggestion, which leads both sides to feel like, okay, I don't know where this is at. So it's like, he might think that, okay, we're dating, we done went on 3 dates, but she might think, okay, because he didn't be accurate to what he said, I could still talk to Tom on the side because there's no dialogue. And yet again, I feel like women and men just see shit that they see on TV, and like they're just like, okay, you already know. Like, I don't know shit. Like, I don't know a damn thing.
That's why I looked to Amazon for the next girlfriend.
Oh God, here we go.
Wait, what did you say? What did you say?
Nah, don't.
You don't want to open that can of worms.
Don't do it.
Don't open Pandora's box,
Nah,
man.
yeah,
No.
Wait, hold on. I missed it.
Say no.
What did
Say
he say?
less. Nope. Nah.
What did he say? I missed it.
Oh, you're gonna fucking regret it. I know that.
He wants the
You're gonna
smoke.
fucking regret it.
No, you don't want this guy smoke.
Nah. I don't want this kind of smoke. I'm still traumatized off the last goddamn podcast. Man, I had to do 6 Hail Marys, and nigga, I'm not even a religious motherfucker. Yeah,
Wow.
I had to go drink some holy water after the bullshit I had to hear. Please, let that nigga have his thoughts quietly.
Oh man.
I believe what he says so far is the dating scene being real dangerous, but I think that's why people got to go back into getting to know people. Getting to know your coworkers, getting to know people.
Well, hold on. Even the job, the workplace is dangerous today.
That's
I got a question though. When?
Wait. Hold on, wait.
Time period.
Well, wait. Who was saying something about coworkers?
Coworkers are out.
Okay.
No. I get you. I get you. I understand what the coworkers
are your coworkers. That's it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I get you with the coworkers, but the reason I made that statement.
Go.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, the dog was getting murdered.
It's not loud, so.
Okay, well,
I'm sorry. I got completely distracted there. No, the reason I said coworkers is because I have numerous people that I know where it's like, they're like, oh, I'm done with the dating. They don't know what to do. It's like, if you don't have much of an outside life, and you're kind of just a work home type of person, a lot of times, those type of people.
We're close to you, so
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. A lot of times, those type of people will be the closest to you. And I'm not saying just to go, oh, go date them. No, I'm saying you get to know them as individuals. And if you make a decision later on to date, then you spent enough time with the person to kind of get to know them. Then you get to know them outside of work, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're jumping into fornication. That doesn't mean you're jumping into a relationship. That means you're just trying to get to know people. And that's the key, getting to know people. Nobody wants to get to know people anymore because everybody has this falsified look of a relationship when it boils down to what we've been talking about since the podcast started, which is money. If you take money out the equation, then you get to really know people, and then you get to really understand and decide who you want to be with. Stop looking at the way she looks. Stop looking at his pockets and look at the person and figure out where their head is. Then you can make a right decision on if this is somebody I need to be with.
Okay, so before we move past the coworker thing, before we move,
Okay.
I just want to say this real quick. Before we move past the coworker thing, the one thing I want to say, because this is the thing, I think if I remember right, I have to look it. I'll look it up in a second. I think where most people find their wives or the husbands, whatever, I think it's usually either in school, like in college, or in the workplace. I think that's where most people commonly find their significant other.
Well, two things about that. Workplace, it's fucking convenient. That's the biggest thing about working. If you see this person every day, I work with people that are together, and I'm just like, and like I said it the other day, I'm like, are you with this person just because it's convenient? You know, you see this person for 8 hours, and it's like y'all eat together, but it's like so. And then I said that how well do you know this person outside of work? Because how you are at work and how you are outside of work is completely two different things. And so many people have learned that. It's like, yeah, you're fun, you're jolly, you're happy, talking shit, playful. But it's like you get out of work and you got real life problems. And you're like, damn, this person is exhausting. You know, it's like, what happened to fucking Susan's fun-loving, playful demeanor? Susan has 2 kids, and
that's why you don't
divorced.
rush into
But see, like I feel like even if you work with somebody for years and you get to know this person, I still feel like their work personality is different from their everyday life.
True. Which is that's why you take that next step and you start getting to know that person outside of that environment. And then you can see that all that stuff you're saying, you'll be able to see that. You know, you want to see a person mad, you want to see a person sad, you want to see it when they're at their happy, when they're at their highest, you want to see it when they're at their lowest, because then you understand, like, okay, if I'm with this person, these are the moves that I'm gonna have to deal with. Am I willing to deal with this? Because you're gonna have good times and bad times. Relationships is work. Period. It's work. It's never gonna be it's never gonna be that Disney Channel BS. It's work. It takes work to get to a point of what your grandparents and your mothers and whoever all that stuff took work.
That took work. Relationships come with a studio audience, though, for real.
I was about to say that's the difference between our grandparents. Our grandparents didn't have to worry about that because everybody was on the same page. And again, there was no entertainment. There wasn't like fuck social media. It's like you got TV like fucking E that's telling motherfuckers to be a certain way. It's like, and that's where people like time periods will never go back to what they were. It's like because all you had was a radio that would play a baseball game or whatever, and that was perfect because he didn't have any outside life. But at the same time, one of the biggest differences between then and now was, as G I think would agree with me, is a nuclear family. And it's like everybody was a collective, but not even just a nuclear family, but like communities came together and they had barbecues or came together for birthdays. And it's like people came together. So it's like
Yeah.
it was very hard to influence Catherine when 6 of Catherine's fans have the same life as her. And she sees nothing else. So it's like now it's not like that. Stephanie can see complete strangers and tell Luke that, hey, how come he buys her flowers and you don't buy me flowers? But you don't even know this person. It's just like him. He could tell her, how come you don't cook every day? And this chick on this TV cooks every day, or I'm scrolling on Facebook and she has a whole pizza catered football party for him, and he didn't even have to ask. But you don't know these people.
That goes straight back to work. See, the difference is, yeah, you're right. Back in the day, everybody was on the same page. Everybody knew, hey, I'm gonna be a wife. Hey, I'm gonna be a husband. Kind of like foreigners are traditionally brought up to be wives and husbands. But since we don't have that anymore, it takes work. It takes work ethic. It takes communication. You have to be able to talk to one another, and you guys have to be able to, in turn, get on the same page. And it is possible. It just takes a lot more work. It takes work in the beginning. It takes work in the middle. It takes work 10 years down the line, because 10 years down the line, if that person didn't change, you didn't change. So that's why people, renew their vows and stuff like that, because 10 years down the line, you might be marrying a whole different person.
But that goes back to my original problem.
And it could be for the better, or it could be for the worse.
But that goes
it depends
but
on
hold on.
communication.
That goes back to my original problem of the thing is that a lot of people aren't brought up to even understand what it takes to even do all that. Like people to me go into relationships with like this, fantasy mind, like it's going to be. I will say this. I know it's this. I hate to say it, but I know it's this more from the women's side than the men, that they come into a relationship with this fantasy like eyes, like this diamond eyes, like it's supposed to be perfect and it's supposed to be like this, but that's not what it is. People aren't really taught or told what it takes to keep it together. So even what you're saying may be true. We got to get to the point where people don't even understand what it takes for a relationship, what comes with being in a relationship in the first place, instead of just looking at like just the best parts of it.
I'm saying, but how can they when they have too many other influences that tell them otherwise?
And yep,
that's my point.
And that's why I say you get an audience at work, because everybody is in y'all's business.
No, that's
right.
The worst
okay,
thing.
But yeah,
that's the worst.
Okay, but that's everything. It's like if you make a Facebook account and add random people, and you post a comment like saying, "Oh, this bitch is pissing me off. I can't stand this shit," and you got 30 people that you probably don't even talk to on a daily basis agreeing with you. That's not even works. That's just random people, because people do it all the time.
But those are some toxic ass people. Like,
okay,
you gotta realize, like, if this female's the first thing she get mad, the first thing she do is go to Facebook. That's a red flag right there.
Men do it too, bro. Like, not just women.
Right.
I know a lot of niggas that get on Facebook and vent about everything.
Right.
And this goes back. Hold on, wait, Keith. This goes back to when you say men are becoming more bitch made today.
Exactly. Like, I would never get on Facebook and be like, "Oh, this bitch got me fucked up. I'm going to the bitch and be a bitch. You got me fucked up." That's just how it is. I'm not about to get.
You
waste my time and fucking or just any dude. If I call with any of you niggas, I'd be like, "Hey, what's this person's phone number? Because I got a problem." And we can talk it out.
You know where that stuff come from? It comes from the same place that it comes from when stuff happen to females. When a female, they'd be like, "Oh, she acts this way, she acts that way." Well, she acts this way because she's been sheltered. She maybe her father was abusive, maybe she kept to herself, all these different things. Now, rewind that and do the same thing with a dude, he's gonna carry some of those same traits. And also, half of these guys are being brung up by women. So you got to look at that too. So everybody has all these emotions. Not only that, you have a lot of people, men and women, who don't get to deal with their emotions ever at a young age, middle age, all the way up into adulthood. They have deep rooted issues that they haven't dealt with personally that has affected them within their relationships with people.
Okay, hold on. I want to rewind a little bit back. So, yes, I will say one of the biggest things is that, yes, a father not being in the house, I think, is one of the biggest issues that we're having right now. And I think that's one of the biggest issues because that's even being celebrated. Where, you know, you're hearing today where, like, women are saying, I don't need no man. I'm like, no. I think both me and Keith can agree. There's been times that you definitely need a man in your life. And I think that's really a big problem. And you know, when you go back to that situation, and this is what I'm saying, like, I guess this generation has changed. I mean, I don't know. We have Jay on here. He's actually younger than all of us, so he could probably explain this more than what we. I'm not saying that he agrees, but he probably knows more about what goes on with this generation. But the one thing I could sit there and say, like, yeah, okay, a dude could do that and put that stuff online, but what happened with niggas correcting that shit? Because usually if you do that shit, niggas will call you out like, nigga, that's some bitch shit. What happened to that?
People do that.
I mean,
People
it doesn't
sensitive.
matter
That's
though
what
in
it
this
is.
day and
Oh,
age.
what'd you say, Norris? No, what'd you say, Norris?
People's sensitivity levels is high.
Okay, but what does that mean? Why can't you just say, nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga, you on some bitch shit? I mean, I understand why it could go bad, but I'm just saying.
the culture now, the way the culture is working now, exactly what was said before several times, is I wouldn't say this because I try to keep that word out of my vocabulary, bitch made.
Fair enough.
But I definitely understand where it's coming from. And it's one of those things of you can be open and stuff like you're supposed to be or whatever on social media, but at the same time, people don't want to hear the truth.
In this day and age.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was about to say, I love the truth.
Yeah.
I want to hear the truth. And I
can't handle the truth.
I will tell a nigga the truth in a heartbeat. No, I'm dead ass serious. Like I said, I have no problem with telling anything about my life.
You can handle the truth. What if a girl after y'all finish, you like, you know what? That was just alright. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Would you be cool? She was like, you know what? I don't know, dog.
Hey, no, I'll be the first one to say, hey, and then this is how truthful I'll be. I've been in my relationship 12 years. Do you think every sex session was perfect? Her answer told me, like, nigga, really, you done? Hell yeah, I'm done. Bitch, I've been at work all day. Of course I'm done. If you didn't come, that's your problem. There's a guy, we got enough shit in this house, and for you to get yourself off. If you give me an hour and take it out, I'll be back at it. So that's how truthful I am. I'll put it to you like that. Don't tell me I don't know the truth, nigga. I'm a truthful ass nigga. Like, I'm not ashamed of who I am, and I'm just not fucking secretive. Like, nigga, I'm not no fucking fucking Jack Slayer in the bed. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not no Brian Plumber, nigga. I need rest. Shit, I need a Gatorade. I need some sleep. I need to play the game. I need to clear my mind. Bitch, I need to eat. Like, so you might be a fucking stallion in the sack, but not me. But I feel like I get the job done. Like I said, truthful, nah, nigga. Ain't nobody more truthful than me. Fuck that noise. Like I said, you gonna what if she roll over and tell you your shit was ass? Nigga, what if she roll over and tell you your shit was ass? How would you feel? Oh, secretive ass nigga. Like I said, niggas is too sensitive nowadays. Fuck out of here.
But you know, but it's like it's one of those situations where sometimes, you know, they had I wish I mean she's on Oprah. I wish I could remember her name, man. But she was talking about how a mother can tear down a man. She could tell something to a boy.
Women could tear down men.
A boy.
Oh, that's a given. I agree with that.
Mom's got major control over emotions.
Right. So she can tear down that man before he even becomes a man. because she's mad at the daddy, or she's mad that he's not living up to what she feels he should live up to. And actually, I wish I don't have the resources right now, but it's been proven that single women homes have the the school shooters, the oppressed kids, but when you have a single father home, they don't, for some reason, the kid don't end up like that. And I'm not trying to make it into like a sexist type thing, but they always talk about this: women don't need men and women this, but statistics really show that when it's a single man versus a single woman, the kid's kind of alright. But when it's with that mother, he got emotional issues. He's got all these other issues. He's going crazy. He's doing crazy stuff out in these streets. He's emotionally unstable.
I could agree with that. I could agree with that because when me and my girls separated for a couple of months, it's like I had the kids stay with me. I was paying all the bills, but at the same time, I got to know my kids on a deeper level, which has done nothing but made our relationship stronger to the point of where, we basically asked them the other day, it's like, if you were to choose who to die, I know it's a fucked up situation, but it's like they should, because they know that dad is going to hold it down. They say it like that, but like I said, it's just me being honest at the end of the day. And it's like, I didn't think that they would choose me because obviously a child love for their mother is infinite, but it's like if they're more worried about who they're going to be safer with and who's going to get shit done, I take pride in that 100%. And it's like, at least my kids know that at least y'all got a fighting chance, because I grew up in a household with all fucking women. And fuck the fathers. It's just men alone that dog them. I got the back end burner of that bullshit. If some dude talked to her like shit in the grocery line, then as soon as we get home, I'm the goddamn problem. Like, I didn't cuss you out at the grocery line. You was in the 10 item or less line. That's on you. That he told you to get your ass about the 10 item or less line and you had 13 items. Like, get the fuck out of here. How's that my fault? Oh, well, you the problem. Like, how am I?
Yeah, you know what? That's the thing. You realize that these women will get mad at the kid that looks more like the ex, the guy who left. They'll have they will, for some reason, they can't get along with that kid that looked like the dad, whether it be a female or male. It's like because you look like, they'll even say it when they get mad at them. Oh, you look like your fucking daddy. You know what I'm saying? They'll say it when they get mad at them.
That sounds like a you problem, bitch. That sounds like
it's sad, yo. It's that raw emotion that just kind of gets to it. And I think that's why we have balance, and they got all this stuff out right now. Like, so we need to bring back that balance, so women could learn how to deal with their emotions on some real stuff.
Process that shit, bitch. No, there's another side to that too, because I'll be the first one to say in this podcast, I date interracially. I don't date a lot of, actually, let me rephrase that. I've only dated 2 black chicks. One was in high school and one was after high school. Damn. I ain't dated a black chick since. So with that being said, I date interracial. So the one issue I have with interracial, which I don't have to worry about black chicks, is fathers. I'm not trying to live up to your father, because I've been in this situation a lot on the other end of the spectrum. It's like, now she has daddy issues that you and your dad shouldn't have this. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't the relationship I'm in now. Her and her father might as well be fucking Tupac and Biggie in the early 90s. Like they want nothing to do with each other. But I've dated women. It's one of the issues that I see about other races like white, Mexican, Asian, whatever Filipino, is that their dads put them on this high ass pedestal. Now, to my point, it's like for me as a black man, I see their dad. It's like, okay, he works, but he doesn't even know, he can't even remember your birthday. So why am I being compared to this motherfucker? I give you a gift every year. I gotta remember anniversaries. I gotta remember bullshit dates. But this man just provided. And from what I can tell, he just ignores you. But I gotta make sure that you good. I gotta make sure tampons is stocked. I ain't seen this motherfucker bought a pad yet. But I'm the asshole. I'm the black nigga bitch or whatever you want to stay in your head. That's the bullshit I don't like.
Okay, and since you brought, oh shoot, I have to mute it. All right, since you brought that, actually, Keith, this goes back to your conversation because this is something I've been asking since I was 16. I've asked multiple men this on like men who don't prefer dating black women. But the reason I want to go back to Keith because I know Keith is going to have something to say. But I want to start with Keith because Keith, you actually said something earlier. You said blacks don't know what dating is. What do you mean by that?
Like,
Keith, not Keith.
I didn't say black.
No,
I
Keith.
said people.
No, I said Keith, not Keith.
Oh,
Keith.
okay.
I
Yeah,
said, you know, we talking to our people right now. Of course, other people gonna be listening too.
Yeah.
But this the black men fit the description because we always fit in the description. So and I'm just keeping it one. I'm just keeping it 100. You know, we are not taught how to freaking date. We jump into relationships. I've done it. I've seen other people do it. I've seen people continue to do it to this day, getting mad at who he with or who she with. I love the way Lil Wayne said that on Nicki Minaj's song. He said, what about the niggas? She said, what about the niggas? He said, you right. I'll be there tonight. Put on something tight. Like, you gotta learn how to date and get to know people, and we don't freaking do that. We turn it into, oh, I'm playing her, or oh, I'm pimping her. No, nigga, just date people. Then you don't have no strings attached. And dating ain't laying with somebody. Dating is getting to know somebody, figuring out what kind of person they is. That's how you really figure out who you want to be with and what kind of relationship you're gonna have. You know what I'm saying? You see in the highlight reel, everything is all hallmark okie dokie while y'all just smashing. Everything is cool. But now put some responsibility in between y'all, and you find out that y'all don't mix at all. You know what I mean? Like we don't date. A lot of blacks don't teach you about date. If you religious, they teach you gotta find a wife. They don't half the time they don't even want you to have a girlfriend. If you with the holy rollies like I was with the holy rollies, okay? You wasn't even supposed to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You just supposed to have a wife. And I said, well, how am I supposed to find a wife if I don't have a girlfriend? They didn't have nothing to say to me. So that's why I started venturing out a little later. So you know, it gets crazy. But we get brought up. If you got brought up by the old folks, all they knew was church. So they brought you up the same way. You know, you got to find a wife, blah 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 blah, and they don't teach you about how to actually get out there and date people. You know, and then you got the people who just keep you away from the opposite sex, period, in fear that you're going to get pregnant. It's like, no, don't do that. Teach them how to date. Teach them how to date.
What is dating? I mean, I tried to ask that earlier.
What is dating? Dating is hanging out, just like you hanging out with a friend, talking, you know, chilling. Maybe it don't always have to be romantic. It could be just goofing off somewhere. You know, you're goofing off on a basketball court. She don't know how to play basketball, but she having a good time. You know, then
And
you
she
can go into.
and she is allowed to see other people though.
Both of you are allowed to see other people.
Okay, because that's the biggest misconstrued shit.
Yeah, both you until you both agree that you're an item, you can see as many people as you want to. Now you don't have to talk about it, you don't have to put it in their face, but you're dating, you know, and but the problem
I feel
is
like you should talk about it because that's how shit gets misconstrued when you don't have an open dialogue. Like, hey, we're just dating. I'm still gonna see other people, and if she's like, no, I don't want that. Okay, well then we need to have another serious conversation.
Right, but if you're going around now, see that's different. If you're going around sleeping with people, that's something totally different.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying here goes an example. Just like you said, let's say you guys are at a park, you guys are hooping or whatever, and you guys are just dating without no conversation. And you get a text or a phone call from, just like I said, Susan, saying, hey, I want to go, hey, let's go get dinner. And you tell her, hey, Susan's hit me up. I got to stop doing whatever the hell we're doing here because Susan wants to go get dinner. Now, even if it's vice versa, it's like, I refuse to believe that somebody without an open dialogue is just going to be like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
But I think when you do that, though, you're opening up just some things. Some things, you know, some things are private, and that part of your life you could keep private. Yeah, okay, I know that we're just dating and we're not official. But if I keep reminding you that we're not official and that I'm dating other people, guess what? We will never be official. We will never be more than what we are if we continue to do what we are. So, because in the back of your mind, you're constantly worried about who I'm messing with and who you mess with, and I'm doing the same thing to you. We're never gonna be able to be cool when we're together. So some stuff is just like you gotta keep it. Some stuff you just keep private. That's just something that's
I just don't see why it has to be private if you're not doing nothing wrong.
Because the human emotions can't deal with it. That's why. Period. The human emotion can't deal with it. They liking you and you hanging out with somebody else. What's the name said it best? I don't want to know if you plan to keep it on the low. It's just like
but that's what I'm saying. Why do you have to be playing with somebody? Why can't dinner just be dinner? I've been on multiple dinner,
and that's my point. It's not playing. It's not playing. If I'm hanging out playing basketball and somebody texts me, hey, you want dinner? Well, what time? I say, hey, when I'm with this person, hey, all right, I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. Something came up, and I'll see you later. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be. Oh, I'm gonna put it in your face, and I'm going out to dinner with some other chick.
I'm not saying that you put it in. I'm saying if she were to ask. I'm saying, well, how can't you just be like, hey, Stephanie hit me up and we're going to go have dinner if you guys are just dating or just hanging out? You technically have no obligation towards her. That's what I'm saying.
Right. You have no obligation towards her, but at the same time, if she's a prospect, so you want to still keep that potential person comfortable, just like. No, you're not lying. You're just not. You just. I don't understand how you're not lying. You leave it well enough alone. Okay, do you tell her every time you gotta take a shit?
Who's done been in some shit? No,
do you tell her every time you gonna take a shit? You know, do you wipe your ass? Do you wipe your ass sideways or up and down?
Do with your dating situation though. Like,
well,
okay,
you
taking the shit has nothing to do with your dating outcome. You don't tell her because, just like you said, she's a potential prospect.
Right.
So it's like, okay, but yet again, and you're skipping a step.
No, you have when you're dating, you have that initial conversation that we're dating, right? that we're dating, that we're hanging out, you know. And dating does not mean that we are an item. We're just dating. Okay, you clarify that once for the people who know what dating is, right? So they know that. But at the same time, you don't want to constantly remind someone that you're seeing other people.
Who's
Unless you have
constantly
no
reminding if she asks you who that was?
If she asks you who that was.
Yes, I'm saying if you got a phone call and you were like, oh yeah, okay, I'll meet you here in about an hour. And she doesn't know because she's thinking that you guys are having a good time. I'm saying
right.
If you
So that's my friend, and if I choose to go hang out with them after I'm finished here, that's my business. It's none of her business. Just like if just to say, and it goes both ways though. But a guy got to be able to take it from her too. Hey, you know, oh well, we hanging out here. We hanging out. You know, oh well, shoot. You know, I'm about to head out in about an hour. You know, my friend hit me up. I want to go check out what's going on over here. You don't have to be all specific about it. You know, it's just it is what it is. And then once things get further, and then you can say, you know what, you know, I don't, you know what, I don't want you to go. But we need to work out something here. I kind of want to take this relationship to the next level. And at that point, you can figure out what you want to do, and she can figure out what she want to do. Now y'all say, okay, we're gonna be together. So now once we're together, now all that friend stuff and all that, I'm gonna leave you for this person or go hang. All that stuff is out the window because you're no longer dating. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in the dating stage, you can see whoever you want to. White people understand that. I hate to say it like that, but they understand that. Dating is dating. Dating is dating. You know, I'm dating you. We going on a date. That doesn't mean we're together. We went out on a date a couple times. We went out to eat. We went over here. We went over there. That doesn't mean I'm with you. But we, in our culture, we take a girl out. Our girl comes over. We hang out. That girl automatically, you gonna go out with me, and then you gonna go out with this chick. Like, yeah, why not? Are you my girl? Are we an item?
And hence why I don't date black chicks. If you want to go that
way, right?
I'm not gonna lie. Wait. Hold on. Someone wants to disagree. Go ahead.
I don't think it got nothing to do with race. I think that's just women in general and people.
I believe that too.
I can't agree with that. I think more black chicks that feel that way, but I can't agree with that.
I think I've dated more black chicks than you have. You said you only dated 2.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think I've had a little bit more experience than you is, you know, as far as the dating.
Bro, I mean, that's why we always say, and the women that I dealt with.
Hold on, you've been talking for the whole night. Respectfully, I think, you know, to someone that mainly only dates black chicks, you know, I don't even think your opinion as far as that goes is, you know, completely valid if you've only dated 2, right? And since then you've had bad experiences and then decided not to date them. We can't chop that up to race. Females are clingy in general. That's a part of female nature. That's a part of their emotional. So someone thinking that they are with you because of a date, that can happen for a multitude of reasons. That could be you didn't laid it down on her really good. I didn't have a chick, you just laid it down on her and now she sprung off of you and thinking that you were a boyfriend. You'd heard the same thing. Homies and like, man, you know, it's a bunch of different reasons why someone can be tied to you or feel like they owe, like that they are with you, other than their race has anything.
But you have to admit that we have cultural differences when it comes to race.
The cultural differences are the cultural differences, but I'm saying there's similarities regardless of culture when it comes to dating in general.
Right.
I don't think that is necessarily tied to a specific race or our culture as a whole. We have our differences inside the culture that are specifically tied to the Black community. But what I'm saying is to be like, oh, well, you date a Black girl and she think you with her, or you date a Black guy, they think you're together. I think that's more of just female nature in general. Like, that's how females are.
Got it.
Not Black.
I am so glad I don't date. Y'all just maybe
I
more
don't
confusing
date
ever.
anymore. look, I don't date anymore. I like talking about this stuff, but I've been like married for years with no plan on getting a divorce ever.
What's up?
It's Jay.
Yo, go ahead, man.
All I had to say was with this dating shit. Maybe I don't know if it's easier for some other people, but how I see it's kind of like a lot of these females gonna go regardless. So it's like dating and taking them out and spending all this money on a female who's, if you just be cool with her, she gonna let you do whatever you want to do. Even though you might have to lie a little bit, I ain't gonna lie, but like I'd rather not be spending that type of money. When she gonna,
I'm just saying, honesty. Oh, go.
You go ahead, man. Go ahead. Spending money.
No. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
Hold on. Can you repeat what you just said? Because I had something I was gonna say on that.
You, Keith.
For me?
No, Keith.
Oh, I said you could go on a date without money.
No, yeah, you can. I'm not saying, but like I was just saying, like you said, honesty is key. If you go up to, I literally had a conversation with one of my situations like the other night. I was like, if a dude came up to you and was just like, hey, I just want one thing, you feel me? I don't want nothing else. She gonna look at you like you stupid. Usually you gotta talk to her, take her out somewhere, do something, then she gonna let you do whatever you want to do. But women don't like just hearing that you just want to do one thing. From what I've experienced at my age,
yeah, of course,
19
it's not
years
one of
old.
those things. Of course, you got to get to know her, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of females that I know some of them. Once you get to know them, if you tell them that's all you're interested in, that might be okay. They might be okay with it.
See, that might is why I be, you feel me? I kind of just tell them what they want to hear at first. Like I don't be a complete start a whole relationship, but it's like
that's
finessing, bro.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem right there, right? See, the difference is no. Listen. No. Listen. Like, I've been there. I'm not there now.
So
but when you talk to the one who is down for it, who is down, and you don't have to lie, it's a whole different outcome, bro. It's a whole different.
No, it's not. It's the same.
It's a whole different
If you
situation.
finesse, you
ain't got to finesse.
I agree.
You do have to finesse.
I agree.
It's because she already got like 9 dudes in her face right now saying the same thing you saying. So it's like you finna tell, like I don't really understand.
Females finesse dudes worse than dudes finesse chicks. So who cares?
Shut your ass up.
It's not that. The only look. The real
I thought you had no
difference is
motherfucking opinion, nigga.
the real difference is men follow the rules. That's the only difference. We follow the rules.
That's not entirely true.
If she say, listen. If she say, call me on Tuesday at 2:00 and we gonna hook up. That dude gonna call her on Tuesday at 2:00. We gonna hook up. The female gonna call her. The female gonna call on Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, all time of the nights, and that's why it seemed like that's why it seemed like the female got the upper hand, is because dudes actually follow the rules and instructions, and the females get caught in their feelings, and they start calling you all time of day, all time of night, and mess up the whole situation.
No, because the female will finesse the shit out of you, and you'll be stupid and be like, "Yep, cool." So, but when a dude finesses a chick, all of a sudden he's wrong. Y'all tripping.
Open and honesty, you have more fun. That's all I'm saying. I've been there. I ain't there now.
Man,
I ain't been
there.
I'm not gonna say
fucking Candyland.
I'm not gonna say you have more fun. It just eliminates the bullshit.
Yes, it
on
does. It eliminates
on
all the
my end.
bullshit.
Oh no,
The
it's
bullshit
not
is fun.
fun to be honest with the chick and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go have dinner with Issa. Do you need a ride back for wherever you came from? Like, no, that's not fun because just like you said, if this chick is a potential prospect, I'm just the type of guy who I'm just not gonna keep. I'm just gonna cut out the bullshit. It's a price you pay in that, but I don't let pussy dictate my life. You can now. I'm not saying I do this. Let me just now. This is something I don't want nobody to get misconstrued. You can always pay for pussy. You know, that's just easy work.
Exactly.
So it's like
You know
I don't
what, bro?
feel
I
like
was about to say the same thing.
so me. I watched too many family members alone put pussy on a pedestal. It's like if we grew up in the '90s or the '80s or whatever the case may be, we watched or fucking early 2000s. We watched our uncles, fathers, cousins get played by women. They made movies about it. They made TV shows about it. So it's like I feel like I told myself a long time ago that I would never let pussy run my life, especially if you could pay for it. So I feel like yes, I think it would James said yes. This is a world where who can finesse who. That's all this world is.
Yep.
If you're dating, I'm not saying in a relationship, I'm not saying in a marriage. I'm saying if you're dating, it's about who has the upper hand. That's all that it is.
It's all a finesse.
Right, but when it turns into that, right? It turns into that finesse situation. To me, I feel like that's when you kind of screw yourself. I feel like both parties kind of screw themselves if they want something real. If the goal is just to sleep with each other, then finesse all you want to. You know what I'm saying? Keep finessing. If that's your goal is I want to screw her, keep finessing. I want to screw him, keep finessing. But if you want something stronger, you can't. You gotta. That finesse stuff. That ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? Because both of y'all live in a lie.
Yeah, but you can always build off some finesse if you really want to take that situation seriously. But if not, it just makes your situation a lot easier. And this is coming from the youth over here. All it is a finesse game now. So if you're looking at the future, that's it. Why you think so many people go, I hate dating now. Dating is stupid because dating is only a finesse. It ain't like the 80s and 90s and early 2000s.
I dare to disagree. I don't want to cut you off, man, but part of it is the responsibility of the older people. They ain't passing down the knowledge. We've already talked about this. The mothers, the pops, they are not passing down the knowledge that is needed to give to the other people. And literally, that's messing up our stuff. First of all, the family structure been fucked up because certain stuff that's happening. I ain't gonna go there with that. But with all that being said, I definitely understand your perspective. I've been there. I empathize with it. But I'm here to let you know love really do exist. And at the same time of building a relationship, if you're going to build a relationship, don't have no cracks in that joint. You sitting up there finessing, you're going to mess yourself up. And I go, love can really hurt, honestly, because you got to be open. And your feelings going to get messed up sometimes because people want to fuck with you. And what you have to do is understand that you're going to keep trying no matter what, because the reason why people want to be in some type of relationship is because they don't even want to be alone.
Wow, that sounds like a Hallmark card.
That's real though. That's real right there though. Like that's the real stuff.
It's
like
a real fairy tale, bro.
Man, I know it. Look, I'm speaking from experience.
And that's the problem.
I'm speaking from experience. I done been through the ringer, bro. I done been through it. I done had the crazy baby mamas. I done had the crazy girlfriend. I done had, you know, my one and only flip the script on me, change up, and me not know what the hell I'm gonna do. I done been through all the little dirt. I could write a novel. I done been through all of it. You know what I'm saying? And he said that like love is here. But when you start adding in all this finessing, later on, like you said, those cracks is gonna start coming out. You know what I mean? You not gonna things ain't gonna somebody gonna be unhappy. Put it that way. One of
Somebody's
y'all
gonna
be
be
unhappy.
unhappy, period. Somebody's gonna be unhappy, period. The fuck kind of homework shit is you?
Man, it just look. I'll put it this way: it take work, man. Yeah, you're right. At times, somebody's gonna have to be unhappy because what's going to happen is you're gonna have to learn to bottle up your feelings for the greater good at times, and vice versa. It goes both ways. Sometimes you got to get out your feelings. Sometimes she got to get out her feelings. And so it's like whoever's stronger in that situation. So that way you come together. Maybe you deal with death better than she do. So even though your parents just died and she got some other kind of crisis going on, you like, you know what? I could mourn a little later. Let me go ahead and deal with her. And somebody else might say, "Oh man, yo mama just died. That's fucked up." No, it's part of a relationship. It's give and go. It's push and pull. You know, you keep that up, and that's how you build that strong relationship and that strong bond. That's
Bro,
how you
what the fuck are you talking? You guys are talking about dating. Now you're talking about being in love like y'all married.
Thank you. That's my point. That's my point.
That's
my point.
You finesse in dating.
I'm so glad you said that. Why are we going to relationships and future?
Because it's all structured to go to that point. That's why you're dating in the first place.
How do you need structure to date? There's no time.
Obviously, some people still ain't getting it right. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's I get what he's saying. That's all. I'm just agreeing with what he's saying because if you're dating to find your potential prospect, right? Your potential prospect, what's that mean? That means your girlfriend. After it's your girlfriend, the next step is marriage, right? So you looking for that forever mate.
That's what I'm saying. You're jumping steps, though.
What?
How am I jumping? Hold on. Let me ask this. Actually, let me not even say it. And I chose to date the chick that I'm with now of 12 years. 12 years, we talked on the phone because I was in Vegas and she was in Pahrump for a year. I got to know her for a year. We didn't move in together for a year and 6 months. We didn't have our first kid till 2 years. So what the fuck is dating? Like I would go see her, she would come see me. But I'm just like, y'all are skipping steps. Like I feel like you need at least 6 months to a year in this day and age. In this day and age, to date.
I didn't say a specific time.
Hey, I got your back, Keith.
Time.
I got your back, Keith, because I mean these motherfuckers talking about you gonna go from a finesse to marriage. Like that shit is crazy, bro.
No, that's because y'all not keeping up with the conversation. Y'all not keeping up. It's okay. So this is what it is.
But it doesn't matter.
The whole point is, why doesn't it matter? Go ahead.
Okay, if you finessing somebody off of the jump, that's just what it is. You act like after you guys get to know each other and you guys actually say, okay, maybe this will work. You still finessing this chick. That's not how it works. As Jay was saying, like, yo, this chick gonna do whatever. You know, that's off of a month of getting to know each other. If you really trying to get a relationship with some chick, you're not gonna really try to finesse her because she gonna know too much about you at that point. But you guys are talking like, nah, man, if you finesse her off the jump, it's gonna quit cracks in a relationship. No, how many chicks do you really consider potential after finessing? Jay?
So how many of you have reached the actual pinnacle? First of all, let's start there. Anybody?
Pentacle, what's that mean?
What the?
Have you went to marriage? Have you went from dating?
Oh hell no! I don't believe in marriage, so that's
okay, and you have your reasons, right?
I don't believe in.
And you have your reasons, right?
No, I just have one.
It's okay, your reason, right?
Yeah, as long as there's such thing as divorce, I don't believe in marriage.
Okay. Now, with that being said, everybody is talking about time. Why is everybody starting to talk about time? Like you just skipping steps. Hold on. Nobody said anything about time. We said the goal is to get to a certain place. You don't want to just be stuck dating, do you? I don't know. Maybe you do. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you want to get, I would hope that you will want to get to a good place with the person that you're selecting. Yeah.
I tell a female straight up, the first 6 months I'm talking to you, you're not even talking to me. You're talking to my representative. And whatever I use is inadmissible in court.
Okay. I will shut all this down. G said at the beginning of this, intersexual dynamics of women and men dating. Mm-hmm. So that's what the topic was. I'm talking about the topic. I don't care about the after effects. We are talking about dating. Now, if it said men and women dating, future, marriage, whatever the case may be, you jump topic. The topic is men and women dating. That's the sole topic here.
It's just like we were talking but there's about also called a thing called conclusion. If you keep sticking to one part of it, you'll never get past it. That's my whole point that I'm bringing up.
But like our basically argument is basically everybody is not real at the beginning of their, like, you're gonna finesse this person in a dating situation. And just like he said, if you choose to be like, okay, you are future material, and then it starts to slow up after a while. That finessing starts to slow up.
How many people on the podcast is married right
now? What? No ears? No hands?
How many people are married?
I know I am.
Okay, so 1.
2.
Is that what I'm understanding?
2.
2. Okay, 2. How long have you all been married?
So two married people.
Those are the ones that believe in love.
Oh no, hold on. 2 married people. I agree with 2 married people. Hold on. 2 married people on the same accord. I wonder why that is, and I wonder why they married already.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good question.
Damn.
Like I said, the truth will set you free. Yeah.
Hey, I'll answer that. On the real, I'm with Keith. Yo, like, I tell a chick straight out, this has to be 100% ironclad because I don't believe in divorce. So if we get married, that's it.
Exactly.
That's it. So if we want to date for 20 years, then that's cool. I've been in a gay, man, my longest relationship was 18 years.
Nobody said that was a problem, though. I don't have a problem with dating for that period of time. Like, I get that.
I mean, at the end of the day, but you're saying, oh my God, like, if you finesse this person, that's it. Like, the foundation is broken. How does that work?
Okay, now this is how that works.
Now you guys are posting out, well, who's married on here? Well, if you're not married, then you don't have any.
No. I'm not even gonna go there with that. I won't even go to the marriage part. So what I need to be understood is when you finesse, that means there's manipulation, deceit, and all kinds of different stuff in there. Now, if that's going on later on, that's why people end up breaking up. Whether they're dating or their boyfriend, girlfriend, wherever they're at in the stage of the relationship. With that comes a continued perpetual like insanity of mess ups. You know what I mean? Like, instead of figuring out what you want yourself or the other person that you with, you're not even looking at that no more.
Wow.
Is that right? Because in a finesse, I just figure it's a finesse. You dating and you don't know that chick and she doesn't know you. So you just finessing the
But
situation.
I think that's the problem with the dating world right there.
Today,
That's the
Yeah, and that's on both ends of the spectrum. Like I keep saying,
exactly.
women are finessing dudes just as much as dudes is finessing chicks. That's all it is. You're dating. Remember back in the day when you started dating and people was like, look, just have fun with this. Especially when you're young like Jay.
Okay, well, I grew up watching a movie called Boomerang. And that is the biggest finesse movie that I've ever seen in my life. But that is the pure example of dating.
Yo, she had hammer time on her feet.
Exactly. Bitch ain't worth it. Bitch ain't worth it. But at the same time, the point that I'm trying to make is how can you find out who's going to be the one until you have to finesse. Until that nigga figured out, okay, all these other chicks ain't nothing. Yes, was it too late or almost too late? Yeah, but you have to play the game. You have to play the game. And to sit here and say that you don't like, finessing is terrible in today's world, that's just stupid. That's just stupid.
Okay, hold on. Let me pause y'all.
I ain't shit.
Hold on, let me pause y'all real quick because Adam just came in. I want to give him his 2 minutes.
Okay.
The fuck?
What's up, dog?
Hey, what up, man?
All right. Peace out, y'all.
All right. Can you out of here? All right, what up, Adam?
What's up, y'all? What's up, man?
So I'm just going to tell you exactly what we're talking about real quick. So what we're talking about is intersectional dynamics, basically men and women and dating, and what your thoughts are on it. So I want to give you your 2 minutes, uninterrupted, to say your piece of what you think about dating today in today's market. You got 2 minutes.
I don't know. I'm kind of out the loop. I'm nervous.
It's been a while since I've done one of these. I honestly don't do a closing for the first chapter because I normally put on the second chapter. So it's kind of weird bringing this back. And there's a reason for that, just to let y'all know. You know what? Let me stop there. I want to thank y'all for checking out the podcast. I definitely appreciate it, especially if you made it this far into the podcast. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, if you like what we do here, please make sure to like and subscribe. Share it. Tell your peoples. Let them know about us. It only helps us out. But now I guess I should add this in too, because if you are new here, just so you know, the reason why this part, me talking here, is normally not here is because this podcast is split up into 2 chapters. So normally, once the talking's done, we just cut it, and then you won't get our closing till the second chapter. So hopefully that gives you some incentive to come back and listen to the rest of it. But just so you know, this is the first chapter of the podcast, and the second one comes out next week, same day. So make sure to check that one out. Now, with that being said, I'm here to ask y'all for a favor, and it's a big favor. Especially if you made this far. Do me a favor and tell your peoples about it, tell your friends, tell your family. I don't care who it is, just tell everybody, because I am actually competing with myself right now, and I have a goal. If possible, whether it's this one or the second chapter, I want to beat Skyrocketing Chapter 2. Skyrocketing Chapter 2 right now is our most viewed, or I should say our most played podcast, particularly on Spotify. So if you don't mind, if you could tell your peoples to go to Spotify. I know we're on YouTube. If you listen to this on YouTube, thank you. Stay here. But if you got people who haven't heard us, do us a favor. Go over there and tell them to stream this on Spotify so we can knock down Skyrocketing Chapter 2 and we can have this one, the Milestone episode, be our most played podcast. So do us a favor and please make sure to stream the crap out of this one because I want to beat Skyrocketing Chapter 2 with this one and make this episode the most played because I think this is a better representation of the podcast than Skyrocketing Chapter 2. But with that being said, I want to thank y'all for checking out and playing Skyrocketing Chapter 2. Thank you for giving us a chance. But please, whether it's this one or the next one, doesn't matter. I just want to knock down Skyrocketing Chapter 2. But understand, I still want y'all to come back. So don't just, come here just to help us out. But also make sure to stay because we got more content for y'all. Because again, the goal is we want to build this community. We want to expand. That's our goal. We want to make sure we want to bring more people in, still have these conversations, still have these discussions. And to do that, we need your help. Now, with that being said, there's not much else I got to say except I want to thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. But, I'm happy to do it. I want to thank everybody who's been on the podcast. Trust me, it was pretty difficult to get everybody here. Sadly, we couldn't bring everybody back. I tried my best, but, things happen, lives happen. But we got almost everybody who's been on the podcast since the first episode. So I just want to give my thanks and appreciate everybody for coming back to do this one. I'm definitely grateful. And like I said at the beginning, the next goal from here, we want to try to get a plaque, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on a podcast platform. That's kind of like our next goal. So you probably won't see me, unless due to circumstance, you'll probably never see me work to try to do this again until we get like a plaque or something, because that's like my number one goal going forward now, is to start building this community and get ourselves a plaque. That's like our number one goal. For reasons, I'll explain that if we get there. If we get to that point, I'll explain why I decided to do that, but that's kind of our next goal. Again, I spent about 2 years building this, and now I'm going to spend the next, hopefully, maybe at the end of this year, maybe a little bit into next year, I want to build this community. And so by y'all sharing and subscribing and liking helps us out, or even joining on wherever platform you're listening to this on. But again, with that being said, I want to thank y'all for checking this episode out. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you stick around. And yeah, remember to come back next week for the second chapter. And with that being said, we'll see y'all next week.